Hey, Disney Cruisers, and welcome back to the DCL community. We are so excited tonight to be talking about everybody's favorite topic on board, food, right? I know it's my favorite. But if you're new here, I'm Rebecca. I am your host and admin of the DCL community, and we are so excited to help you plan, prepare for, and get excited about your upcoming Disney cruise. If you're not already following and subscribe to us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, make sure that you do that so that you know about all the events that we put on all month long. But tonight we are excited to have Hunter talking to us about all things dietary restrictions on board. So Hunter, I know that people are probably coming in. Where are you right now? You're in Indiana, right?
Yes, yes. I'm in northern Indiana. A lot of people know Notre Dame as a landmark, so that's what I'm close to. I'm about 25 minutes from Notre Dame. So go Irish.
Awesome. Yes. And as you guys are coming in, let us know where you're viewing from so we can say hello and let us know if it's you or somebody in your party who has a specific dietary restriction so we can, kind of tailor this conversation to you and your family and what you might need. But with all that in mind, Hunter, should we get started? I know you have a couple of slides prepared. So if you want to
Yeah.
pull those up and you guys, if you have any questions as we're going through this, feel free to send those through and we will do our best to answer them.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's add this guy in.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right, guys. So we're going to be talking about sailing Disney Cruise Line with food allergies and other dietary restrictions. Who am I? So my name is Hunter, and I'm a concierge travel advisor and the general manager of Friend Like Me Travel Co. I've been selling travel for just over 8 years, and my favorite vacations to go on with my family, with my friends, are Disney cruises. And I absolutely love planning them for all of my clients too. I've been on 23 Disney cruises across all five of Disney's incredible ships. So I have a ton of firsthand knowledge and experience to share with all of you guys. I love everything about Disney cruising, from the crew members, the ice cream, of course, food, the private island, character interactions, the entertainment, all of it. It's for me, it's a perfect mix of beach, fun, Disney. It's just the best of both worlds.
Oh, took the words right out of my mouth.
It's truly a special vacation. So what do I specialize in? I have a 11-year-old son that you can see here on my screen, and then a 5-year-old daughter. They've been sailing since they were just little tots. So I have extensive knowledge about cruising and choosing itineraries that are perfect for families. I also have expert knowledge in food allergies. That's what we're talking about tonight. And then accessible staterooms. My husband is an amputee, so we have to get accessible accommodations so that he can shower and everything with his prosthetic off. Beyond my personal cruising experiences with my friends and family, I specialize in Disney Cruise Line weddings. I've worked with numerous brides to plan their special day, vow renewals. My husband and I are even planning our vow renewal, our 10-year vow renewal for next year, hopefully on the Disney Treasure.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
so we're super excited about that.
Yes.
And then my experience with special dietary needs and allergies is that my husband has celiac disease, so he has to have gluten free. There's a huge risk with cross contamination when you have celiac disease. And then my son also has a nut allergy. And then beyond my immediate family special dietary restrictions, I sailed with friends who have dairy, seafood, shellfish, mushrooms, peach, pear, pineapple, and strawberry allergies. I've also had clients who are allergic to artificial sweeteners that we've had to avoid. And then I'm also a registered nurse, so I know how incredibly important it is to keep you and your family members safe from allergens. I was just telling Rebecca earlier that I've never sailed on a cruise where somebody at my dining table didn't have an allergy.
Oh, it's amazing. Not amazing that they have some sort of allergy, but amazing that you have that much experience. And I know people are saying
Yes,
they have celiac. Somebody's worried about cross contamination for sure. Lots of allergies. So it seems like you guys that are watching, you are in the right place right now.
absolutely. And I am here to tell you that Disney Cruise Line does it best. We have never, in my travel party, had somebody that got sick from being exposed to an allergen. And I think that's pretty incredible considering 23 cruises under my belt.
Yes.
We will talk about cross-contamination and those for those commenting that they're concerned about that. But I just wanted to tell you that there's 2 ways for you to put these allergies on your reservation. So you can do this yourself or your travel agent can do it. There is a way to do it online. So I just provided a little bit of a screenshot step by step. So if you go into your Disney Cruise Line, into the website, and you log in and you pull up your reservation, on the home screen, when your reservation is pulled up, you'll see this special request box in the red arrow. You go to edit your requests. That's going to pull up a second screen that looks like this. Now, I want you to note that it shows me because I'm the lead guest here. Where the red arrow points, you click on the dietary preferences, and that's going to open this screen. And you'll click on either one of these special dietary requests if these fit you, or you'll click on the special services form to select certain allergies.
Wow.
If you have to click on the special services form, it's going to pull up this screen. And you'll go to, again, dietary requirements, which will pull up this screen. Now, note how it said Hunter Keeling on the last page, but now you can see in the screenshot, it has my husband's name. That's where the select other guest menu comes in. So before selecting the allergy, you're going to want to make sure you have the right guest pulled up. So for my husband, I clicked no gluten or wheat. And if I was doing it for my son, I would hit save on my husband's, and then I would go up here, select other guest, drop down to my son's name, click on no tree nut, and hit save again. And then you're done. And then once you're back on the home screen, it's going to say my selections were last edited on the date. So You'll know if you put them in there or not. And then here are the request deadlines. So food allergies, you need to put your request in 3 days prior to embarkation. For a kosher diet, 5 weeks prior. Halal meals, 5 weeks prior. And then if you need a Passover meal for a kosher diet, 10 weeks prior. So these are really important dates to know. Now, one thing I kind of just skipped over by accident. If your allergy is not listed here, for instance, I had to put strawberries on a reservation today, just have your travel agent call in, and the Disney Cruise Line crew cast member on the phone will put that on your reservation.
Awesome.
So that it's there. If it's not one of these like top 9, top 10 that Disney Cruise Line has provided already. There's still a way for them to note it on the back end.
And question for you, if I am watching right now and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so many dates and so many things to keep track of, like, Hunter, can I work with you? Can I hand my reservation over to you? Is there a way for people to transfer their reservation, or do you have to do it within a certain time after booking?
You can absolutely your reservation if you have booked within 30 days and not paid in full. So if you've booked in the last 30 days and you're like, Hunter, I need your help with these food allergies and questions that I have about it, and I just want you to take the stress off my plate, you just send me an email. There's a quick form that we fill out. You sign it. I do that digitally. Then I send it in, and they allow me to take over your reservation. Again, this is if you have booked within the last 30 days and not paid in full. Now, if you're past 30 days, but you want to see if the price hasn't changed and cancel and rebook, that's also an option. So if you booked 45 days ago and you still want my help, we can navigate that by going in to see if the price has changed. If it has, if it's low enough, a small enough change that you still want my help, or if it didn't change at all, like it didn't go up, then we can cancel and rebook that under me so that you can have my planning services.
Yes. And keep in mind, guys, her services are totally, totally free for you. They're actually included in the cost of your cruise already. So might as well use, it's an awesome resource at your disposal. And I did put the link to Hunter's page on the DCL community site in the comments. So feel free to shoot her an email. But I know that this is a lot of dates, and I know that this is just one of the special requests that you can make, whether you need a medical device in the room, accessibility. I know we had somebody who mentioned a handicapped sister. So there's a lot of moving parts to a Disney cruise. So if you need help, know that Hunter is here to be that resource for you. Sorry that I jumped in there. I just wanted to make
that's okay. That's okay.
Answered.
So I just wanted to share a few pictures of gluten. These are all gluten-free meals that we have experienced on Disney Cruise. We have the penne pasta on the top left. That's from Animator's Palette. that,
Wow.
or penne bolognese, I believe it is, that you can get an animator's palette on all the ships except for the Wish. And then the donuts and pastries was in Palo, at Palo Brunch, I believe.
Ooh.
The bread was also Palo. And then top right was butternut squash gnocchi. This was a special allergy menu item on the Wish in 1923. Excellent. Like, I don't have any allergies, but I request this because my friend had gotten it and it's so good.
Ooh.
And then the bottom left is some sort of raspberry chocolate. I don't know exactly,
It
but
looks
again,
amazing.
from Palo, and that was Palo Brunch. Then we have a tomato soup, French toast and hash browns and bacon for breakfast. And then we have a beef tenderloin.
Oh my gosh, my mouth is watering.
They do an awesome job. Top left again, creme brulee. I'm not exactly sure what the middle left is. We have pot stickers. That was in World of Marvel on the Wish. And then the top right was a ricotta dessert in Palo.
Yum.
Bottom left looks to be like a pork loin, maybe from Animators. Ooh, the left middle on the bottom is chocolate souffle. So good. Yes, that is gluten-free.
Oh,
Yes.
best news of the day.
Incredible. We have a chocolate layered cake, and then we have a chocolate mousse with like a raspberry on top.
Wow.
So these are just let's see, 16 pictures of amazing dishes on Disney Cruise Line that are allergy friendly. And wow, that was just to give you a little bit of idea. So this was just a link to the Disney Cruise Line allergy page. But we are done with my little slideshow. So I am more than happy to answer all of our questions that we have now.
Absolutely.
And then if anybody needs the slideshow, they can send me an email too. So
perfect. So it looks like if you have any sort of allergy, you will still be eating very, very well on board the cruises.
Certainly.
So let's answer this one. So can the pool deck accommodate any food allergies?
They can. So it's a little bit longer of a process if you want to get food on the pool deck, but it is completely doable. You just let the crew behind the counter know that you have a food allergy, and then they will find the head server in charge of that station to take your order and have your food prepared separately.
Wow.
So my suggestion is when you're starting to feel hungry, go place that order. And then you don't have to stand there and wait. A lot of times they'll be like, where are you sitting? And you can just like point to a chair, a table, and then they will bring your food to you. But it is doable. It just takes a little bit longer. And then, like I said, the server in charge of that station, the head server, will handle it to make sure it's done appropriately.
Awesome. And we have this question from Amanda. On the first day when you get on board, is it possible to get gluten-free foods from Cabanas, or do you need to do sit-down dining?
It is absolutely possible. You may just wait a little bit longer. We actually, in February of this past year, we went to Cabanas on our first day and we got food. And I would say from the time we sat down to the time we left was about an hour. So maybe a little longer than most people would take to get to the buffet and eat and get out of there, but it's still doable.
Yeah. And I was going to say an hour at a buffet is not an hour poorly spent. You could sit me at the buffet all day.
And again, like I'm
ahead.
sorry to cut you off. If when you're in there, you just go up to anybody wearing like the Cabanas or Marceline's Market outfit and say, I have a food allergy. Can I place an order? And then they'll get a head server for you. A lot of times the head servers are wearing white polos.
Awesome. Okay. So easy to find once you're on board. I love it. And what about room service? Are there options if you have allergies with room service?
There are options. They may be limited depending on your allergy, but there are certainly options. If you don't see something or you don't see your allergy specifically listed in the Navigator app under room service, you can just call. I'm just going to speak to gluten because this is what I deal with the most when ordering room service. They have gluten-free chicken tenders, a gluten-free grilled cheese and tomato soup, some salads, buffalo wings. My husband loves
Ooh,
those.
so good.
I recommend, if you know when you want room service, call and order what you want and tell them when you want it delivered. So our guilty pleasure is ordering room service for midnight to arrive after we finish like the adult activities. Like we're coming back from Match Your Mate knowing that we have some
Yeah.
gluten-free chicken tenders and some warm cookies and milk
Oh, I love
coming to be
it.
delivered at midnight.
Oh my
So you
gosh.
can absolutely call and pre-order and give them a time because the allergy kitchen usually closes at 10 p.m. So it's
God.
important to get those in if you're doing a late night order. Um, if you want to order on the fly, just expect your wait to be a little bit longer than usual for
Yes, and good to
non-allergy
know
items.
that you can get the so famous chocolate chip cookies as part of room service, and room service is included on Disney cruises, right?
It is. So room service is included. Um, it is appreciated that you tip the crew member bringing your food, but the food is included. Now, there are a few items that you can order that are not included, like bottles of soda or some candy, special candies or chocolates,
Mhm.
wine, of course. But there's a very large room service menu that is included.
Yes, and some people I know just don't even go to the restaurant sometimes. They just go and order room service because the room service food is so good.
Yeah,
So,
we actually order room service a lot for lunch, or when my husband and I are doing Palo, we do room service for the kids for dinner that night.
oh, so smart.
A
Oh,
little picnic on the balcony, or we lay a blanket on the floor and they have a heyday.
so cute. Oh my gosh, you're full of so many good ideas. So what about Castaway?
So Castaway is also a little bit different. You're just gonna kind of get the flow that everything's a little bit different when you have allergies, but they make it work.
Yes.
So one thing that people who have allergies do is each night at dinner, they order the next day's meals. So if
Okay.
you are going to Castaway the next day, um, you're going to order your meal the night before. They bring you out your menus for
Oh, wow.
each restaurant and just like a Castaway menu too. And then you select what you want. And then when you get to Castaway, all allergy meals go to cookies one. So that is the first dining option at the family beach.
Okay.
There's cookies one and cookies two on the family beach. Cookies one is the one closer to the ship. You just find a crew member, say, I'm here to pick up an allergy window or allergy order, and they will point you to the allergy window. And then they'll ask for your name and your stateroom, and they'll get your meal for you.
Wow. Okay. So super seamless, and that way you can get excited about what you're eating the night before when you're probably so full already, but you're already looking forward to that next meal. Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so hungry. This is amazing. Are the food options similar to what the rest of your family will be eating?
They are. So the options, they are really endless. They can make just about any of the entrees gluten free. There is a select few that they say can't do,
Yeah.
but for the most part, they will try their best to accommodate you on whatever sounds good to you that night. And
Amazing. And
if you had something in another dining room and you're not seeing anything on the menu for the following night that you're wanting, just say, hey, tomorrow night, I actually want this again from this dining room, and they will accommodate. It's easier for them to get that meal from another dining room if they know the night before.
awesome. Okay. So it just takes a little bit of planning ahead of time, and then you'll be set with exactly the meal that you want. Awesome.
Yes.
And sorry, going back to Castaway, if you are an adult and you want to go to Serenity Bay, do you have the option to pick up an allergy meal there, or do you have to go back to Cookies One as well?
Unfortunately, you have to go back to cookies one.
Got it. Okay, but good way
Yeah,
to
so
see.
it's a little bit of a process, but I would suggest maybe doing the family beach in the morning, getting your allergy meal. I think it's at 11:30 when Cookies One opens. Eat it and then go over to Serenity Bay to enjoy your afternoon, or do
Per
vice versa. I think it
Yeah.
closes at 2, so you could come back at like 1:30.
Yeah. There's no bad way to do Castaway.
There's really not.
Oh, and I know I'm already seeing questions about Mickey bars. So this is probably a great transition question. So is the ice cream from Ice Cream gluten-free?
The ice cream is gluten-free. So the caveat is that you can't have the cone. We can walk over to the soda fountain, grab a paper cup, and take it over to the ice cream station, and they'll fill it up with ice cream for you in the cup. And most of the times they do not have cups at the ice cream station. So that's why we say on your way, just grab a paper cup at the soda fountain.
Yeah, and that's a great way to get even more ice cream because the cones can only fill up with so much, and then the cups, you could just keep going, keep going. I love it.
Right.
And what about those Mickey bars? Are those allergy friendly?
Mickey bars are allergy friendly. I mean, not dairy friendly, but
Yeah.
gluten friendly.
Awesome. Okay. And what about some of the adult only dining, like Palo or Remy? I know you showed some pictures before, but is there still that flexibility there?
There is actually our best gluten free meals have been Palo Brunch and Palo Dinner. I cannot say enough about Palo Brunch. We did our most recent Palo Brunch was on the Wish in January. We also did Palo Brunch on the Magic and the Wonder in 2021. Fantastic. Or 2022, I'm sorry. Fantastic every time. We do Palo Dinner every single sailing. Always excellent. I think
Oh,
they probably have they have the highest quality food in general, but gluten-free is still the same. It's highest quality, incredible. I mean,
yeah.
the bread, the gluten-free bread it's hard to please. It just is. Gluten-free bread doesn't taste well from most places.
Oh,
Palo's an
man.
exception. It's delicious.
Oh,
The
I
one
was going to
that I
say,
showed you the picture of in my
oh,
slideshow, I actually ate a lot of my friends' gluten-free bread, and I'm not even gluten-free because it's just so good.
wow. I was going to say I could smell it. I've had the non-gluten-free version before, and when they bring it out and it's warm, oh my gosh. Again, my mouth is watering just thinking about it. And so many great questions are coming in, guys. We're going to try and do our best to get to all of them. Is there like a hidden menu on board when it comes to like gluten-free treats and snacks, or is everything publicized ahead of time?
Um, I would say that not necessarily hidden menu, but you don't know if you don't ask. Um, not they are doing a better job of actually presenting gluten friendly and allergy friendly menus. This seemed to be of a new rollout with the Wish. My husband's menu on the Wish was actually different than my menu.
Oh, wow.
And we hadn't previously experienced that. So I think they're doing their best to get with the times and make all these menus inclusive of allergies and so I don't really
Yeah,
think there's any hidden menu,
got
so to speak, but they do normally not tell you what your dessert is going to be unless you know one is gluten free and request it. They'll say chef's choice and they just kind of surprise you.
oh,
They'll ask you like, is there anything you don't like? I don't like lemon or something like that.
got it. Okay, good to know. And does the main menu have, if it's a vegetarian or vegan diet, does the main menu have a designation on it, like a little V or something to say that's what the meal is?
The menus are marked, but like I mentioned, some of them can be made gluten free or vegan or what have you, and they aren't marked. But the ones that are naturally always made that way, always gluten free, they will be marked.
Awesome. Okay, so
Always vegan.
that's why you're saying just ask the question because if you see something you really like, it's worth at least asking to see if they can
Yeah.
tweak that for you.
The menus are marked if that entree is always made that way in the main preparation line.
Awesome. Okay, good to know. Oh, and this is a good one. I don't know the answer to this one. What about an excursion? Can they have food prepared for specific allergies?
So, unfortunately, the excursions are hosted by outside companies, and you can't take food off the ship unless it's factory sealed, pre-packaged, and not a fruit, meat, or vegetable. So it's harder to eat on excursions if you have an allergy. Something that we do as a family is we bring from home those squeezed applesauce packets,
Oh, yeah.
granola bars, or the Premier Protein cardboard protein shakes that have like
Yeah.
the twist lid. They're all factory sealed fruit snacks. None of them are meat, fruits, or vegetables. I mean applesauce, but that's allowed. And then we put those in our backpack when we're going off the ship.
Awesome. Okay, so there's ways to do it. And then I guess you could also look at excursions that maybe are a little bit shorter, so you're not off the ship as
Yes.
long, so you can get back on to eat, which I know is always my priority. I'm like, I can't be away from the ship that long in between meals. I'm going to wither away without a buffet nearby.
Another thing we did was for like my kids, because they're picky eaters sometimes, is we requested Uncrustable peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, factory
Ooh,
sealed from room service.
very nice. Oh, very cool.
And then
Okay,
we threw those in our backpack.
lots of
Doesn't
options.
work for gluten allergy, but might work for like a dairy allergy or something.
Yeah. Oh gosh, and those are good.
Just a
Awesome.
picky kid.
Yeah. And then we have somebody asking this one. So I heard you need to pre-order food for the first night of the week. Is that true?
So you don't order for the entire week. You just order for the next day. So at dinner, they will bring you the menu. And if you want to pre-order for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you totally can. That's what we do. We always have sit-down breakfast just because that's what we like as a family, and it's just easier to get what we want that way from the allergy menu. So we order breakfast, and then we decide if we're doing room service lunch, we won't pre-order, or pool deck lunch, we won't pre-order. But if we're going to sit down for lunch, we'll pre-order. And of course, we order lunch for Castaway, and then we order lunch for dinner. So the first night of your cruise is the only night you obviously can't pre-order because you're not on the ship yet. So everything takes a little bit longer, but they do a great job. And then yes, you pre-order the night before, but each night you do that. You don't pre-order one night for all the nights of your cruise.
Awesome. Okay. And I know people are probably thinking, oh, it takes longer. Am I going to miss things? But Disney gives you hours for dinner time. So you're not going to risk missing the shows or miss the adult
Right.
entertainment afterwards. They still give you plenty of time. So don't worry about rushing through your meal.
We do the main seating 5:45, and we've been out in time to do the 7:30 activities.
Wow. Awesome.
Sometimes we're pushing it. I'm not gonna lie, but we've
Yeah.
been out plenty of times to go to a 7:30 trivia because there's almost always a 7:30 trivia that we want to do.
Oh, love trivia on board. And then we have somebody here who is curious about shellfish allergies. Any recommendations that probably work with your travel agent to make sure that's notated? And then she's worried about cross-contamination too. Any tips there?
Definitely make sure your allergies are notated on your reservation. And then the first night, one of the first things they're going to ask you is they're going to introduce themselves. Hi, my name's Hunter. Do you have any food allergies in your party? And they'll probably already have it on their notepad, and they know you're going to say yes, or they'll just say, all right, I see Jared has a gluten allergy. Who's Jared? And then, so you don't have to worry about them missing it if they do bring it up. First night, first dinner, because you're not going to meet your exact serving staff until dinner that night. And as far as cross-contamination goes, Disney Cruise Line has a separate preparation area for food allergy meals, but not a separate kitchen. They do use separate fryers and cooking devices from the mainline preparation. Like I said, we've never gotten sick in 23 cruises, and celiac disease, a huge risk of gluten contamination. But of course, Disney Cruise Line is not going to guarantee that there's not going to be cross contaminants.
Yeah. So I guess the best thing you can do is make sure it's notated on your reservation, work with your travel agent to do that ahead of time. Double check that with your server and your dining team that first night as well. And then they will do their best to protect your family. Uh,
Yes.
but it seems like all the comments that we're getting, it seems like people they really do a great job. I know Misty saying that her son really loved the lobster bisque soup, but it was one of his restrictions, and they were still able to make it so he can enjoy it, which I love to see.
That's
Um,
amazing.
what about Vanellope's? This is a great question. Do they have any dairy-free ice cream in there?
I don't know if they have any dairy-free ice cream. A lot of it is sorbet, so I think it is
Yeah,
dairy-free. But I can find out and answer you, Stacy,
awesome.
to be sure. Um, the issue with Vanellope's is it's all in a case.
Oh,
So cross-contamination is a big issue there. Now, what we were on the Wish in February, we went to the Joyful Sweets, the Inside Out themed, which is the equivalent of Vanellope's, but on the Wish. And we asked about gluten, and we were told that all of the sorbets in the case that did not have mix-ins, so just like the strawberry, for
God,
instance, because that's what my husband likes, was gluten-free. So he got it. He
awesome.
risked it, even though cross-contamination was a risk, and he didn't get sick. So I stand by asking the crew because Disney Cruise Line takes allergies seriously.
They do. They do not want.
They were honest. They said,
Yeah.
it could be cross contamination, but these flavors are gluten free naturally.
Okay, I love that. And what about if you're looking at doing Royal Court Tea or Olaf's Picnic? What about accommodating for allergies there? Are there options?
There are. So the guests with an allergy will get their own plate for these events. We did both of these events in the last year, and my husband got a separate plate of little sandwiches and a separate plate of the little sweet treats that they provide at these events.
Awesome. Okay, so you don't have to worry about missing out. And then what about the concierge lounge? So if you don't know, the concierge level staterooms have their own special area on board, the concierge lounge. And Hunter, you've sailed concierge, right?
Yes, we've sailed Concierge, and they do a fantastic job about ensuring you have options if you have a food allergy, and your plate is kept separate from the case or the bar, in the back, wrapped, totally safe. It's made in the main dining room, veggie preparation area, and then brought up separately. So they
Awesome.
will have it in the back for you, and all you have to do is ask. And then they change the options in the concierge lounge every couple hours. So your options will change as well.
Oh,
They
wow.
even have like drink options, for instance, gluten free. They have a gluten free beer available. So they do a fantastic job. We've never had any issues with requesting something, or if we'd like something, asking them to have that again for
Wow.
another time of the day or the next day.
Awesome. Okay. And all of those food and like little treats in the concierge lounge, those are all included in your fare as well, right? Or are those extra?
Yes. No, the everything in the concierge lounge that is out, the food, the drinks, the coffee machine, all that's included in what you pay for your concierge stateroom.
Awesome. Okay. And before we get to the other questions, I know this is all about dietary restrictions, but concierge, would you recommend it? Do you love it?
Absolutely. We love concierge. We've sailed concierge on all the ships, and they just go above and beyond. I always love to share this little story. So we sailed concierge on a 7 night maritime sailing on the Magic this past December for Christmas, and my husband and I had a couple spa villa booked, and they called into the lounge that morning, and they're like, "Hey, we have a muster drill. Can you, and we can't miss it. Can you see?" It was like a crew muster drill. If your guest can come earlier. So we were in there. They asked us, I think they called our stateroom and we weren't there. And they're like, "Hey, can you go at 7:30 instead of 8?" And I said, "Yes." And they're like, "Okay, perfect." Well, then I didn't even think about the kids club not being open till 8.
Oh,
So then I'm
wow.
like, "Oh my gosh." The concierge host pulled all the stops. They said, "We'll watch the kids for this half hour. You go." They changed the TV to cartoons. They got out coloring pages. They got out games. They called for a special character meet and greet to come up to the lounge. And
Shut
then to make it
up.
even better, like Disney Cruise Line's top priority is safety, right? And that's extended to the little ones. So not one, but two concierge hosts had to walk our kids to the kids club because one crew member is not allowed to be alone with the child. So
Wow.
two crew members walked our children to the kids club and checked them in. They're allowed to check them in, they just can't check them out. Sorry, my little one's sneaking in here. And my kids felt like rock stars. So that's just kind of the level up experience that you can get from concierge. Staff
Wow.
are always incredible, nothing short of amazing.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. We might have to talk about concierge another time then, because that just like that warmed my heart. I love it. And then we want to make sure to get to this question. So, can you bring food from home? I know you talked about some snacks, but if you have a baby
Yes.
who's on formula or something like that, can you bring those things on board too?
So you can bring food from home, and you can bring formula or breast milk. Now, the food has to be factory sealed, pre-packaged, can't be fruit, vegetables, or meat, just because of agriculture, laws, and they don't want to bring any bugs in any country. So I'm going to read this directly from Disney Cruise Line's website, just so everybody's clear. Non-perishable snacks, snack foods in sealed original packaging. All items must either be consumed prior to returning to your home port or remain unopened. So what that means is you bring it on and eat it, or if it's open, you leave it and throw it away, or you take it back off unopened.
Mm-hmm.
Breast milk and carry-on luggage only. Formula, carry-on luggage only. And then you can bring coolers, but they must be 12 by 12 by 12 inches.
Got it.
And they have to be in carry-on luggage. And this is for storing medications, baby food, or other items for dietary restrictions. I know we had somebody ask about purees for a baby. So you can't bring blenders on a restricted list. So if the puree is not factory sealed that way, you can't bring it. But the dining room and room service have the ability to puree fruits and vegetables.
Awesome.
So that can be requested for children or adults.
Yeah, right? Yes. I feel like a good puree. Why not? Oh, and I'm glad you mentioned room service there. So we have this question that just came in with room service continental breakfast. Can you get gluten-free toast and bagels with that?
You can, and donuts. My husband actually wants me to add in that gluten-free donuts. He likes those. So the door hanging continental breakfast order form, that lives in your drawer in your stateroom that you can hang on the door and pre-order that way. I don't recommend that if you have allergies. I would call. You can call the night before and order it for in the morning, or when you wake up, you can just call and order it. But they do have gluten-free bread and donuts from room service.
Wow. Okay. So no shortage of options on board if you have any sort of allergy. I know we've spoken a lot about gluten-free. We've spoken about nut allergies, vegan, vegetarian, shellfish. So Disney wants to make sure that you're comfortable and that your family's comfortable and able to eat amazing food on board. And as you guys can see, Hunter knows her stuff here. So if you have any questions, we'll put the link to her contact information in the comments, but there it is on screen as well. If you have any questions, reach out to her. She is happy to help, whether it's planning your cruise from day one or getting that reservation transferred over. But if you guys have any other questions, like we said, reach out to Hunter. And yeah, we will see you guys on board. Everybody have such a great night, and we'll see you soon. Bye all.
Bye guys.